to start standing for this practice, and you're going to stand with your feet under your knees, under your hips, under those beautiful lungs. And our practice today is a moon salutation, because today is the full moon, the first full moon of the year. Now, it's funny because if you would Google, does the moon affect humans? And you'll see, it doesn't affect, there's no research showing it. If you talk to any police officer, first responder, teacher, you would know, they will say, absolutely. The moon brings out the crazy in us. The moon affects us. They see a difference, so I know I do feel a difference. And what we're going to do is we're going to celebrate how the moon has a beautiful effect on us. So take a moment here in stillness. Take a couple of good breaths. Exhale, let it go. Find stillness. Now we're going to raise our arms above our head. Just reach up as if you want to touch that beautiful big moon. So reach as much as you can. Feel your feet anchor into the ground and your arms reaching. If you have the ability to do this, lift your head, look up, even with your eyes closed. Find ease in this pose. Take a deep breath, connect your hands. I'm going to ask you to bring your head back to neutral. And then tip over to one side as you exhale. And take a full inhale to get over to the other side, and exhale as you get there. Reach it up again, release your hands, perhaps even look up. And let your arms flare open and come down, your head comes back to neutral. Let your arms settle quietly. Now you're going to take a wider stride. Now, if you have the space and you can place your mat this way, we are going to be facing the long edge of our mat most of the time. So if that, or be okay with being kind of sideways to me, that's fine. So from here, your toes are turned out. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and out of Goddess. And Goddess, what you do is you bend your knees as if you're on a big horse, and you're going to sit back on it. And your arms will frame your head and pull slightly back. And then we're going to rise and then release. Nice, easy. So as you sink, you rise your arms. Then you lift up. And then you release. Nice and easy. Sink and rise the arms, framing your head. Goddess, powerful pose. Rise it up. And release. Let's do that one more time. Sink and frame. And you're going to hold it here, actually. Just hold. This is the most demanding poses of the moon salutation. The rest, we like to keep it fairly easy, just so you can feel a beautiful energy as you're moving. So rise up. This time you're going to reach your arms out to the side, and we're going to do a triangle pose. Now we're going to go to the right first, so turn your foot to the right, and your left heel is going to turn back. Your toes are on an angle. Now the hip is going to go to the left, you're going to reach over to the right, and then you're going to tip over with the arms. Now there is no need to try and touch the ground. do your best to keep your both legs straight, and then pull your whole pelvis area, belly area, forward so your bum's not leaning back. Reach your arm to the ceiling, hand to the ceiling. Good. And know that if you can go further, you go. I'm not going to go much further tonight. Good. Now from here, I want you to look to your right leg. Step your left foot in so that there's still a space, and we're going to do pyramid pose. So your feet are staggered, so right foot forward, left leg back. Good, you've got it. And now you're going to fold. So it might mean you're going to stop here halfway. You might even have your knees bent. You can touch the ground and potentially eventually get to having straight legs, and that might not be today. Right? Beautiful. Then you're going to come back up. So if you're down low, bend your knees, rise up. Now that back leg is going to step further back. You're just going to take a stride back. Bend the back knee and tuck the tailbone under and rise your arms. And when you rise your arms, make it like you're holding the moon nice and wide. You've got the base of the moon and you're holding on. Or it's resting between your arms. Good. From here, we're going to go to a side lunge. So you're going to face the long edge of your mat, pivot, and the right knee bends, and you're going to go to where you can go. Side lunge. You might or might not get down to the ground, doesn't matter. Let's do the other side lunge. So just bend your left leg, lengthen your right leg. Good. You're going to lengthen and pivot and turn to the short edge of the mat on the left side. The right leg is back, it bends, and you pivot the pelvis again and rise your arms and hold that moon. And as you gaze up, you might find that your balance is challenged here. Be okay with the wobbles. Release the arms. Step that back foot in halfway so that you can do that pyramid pose again, where you can stop halfway, bend your knees, go touch the ground, be upside down. Find a version of a pyramid that works for you. Good, you can bend your knees, rise your chest, come on up. Step your feet side by side at the front of your mat and rise up. Take a deep breath. And bring your hands to heart. Now you're going to face the long edge of the mat, so face the monitor basically, and go into your goddess. So start off with a nice wide squat and then create your goddess. Frame your head. Beautiful. Now we start that pattern all over again, going to the left. So rise up. Actually, let's bend left and right first. Just tip up and over. Come up. Let your arms settle parallel to the ground. Turn your feet so you can do your triangle. So left foot to the short edge, right foot on an angle to the right edge, hip to the right, arm reach, and then pivot. And then pull your pelvis towards the long edge of your mat, which means if you're doing this, and you take a second to look at what I mean, I can be here, where the bum back. That's not where I want you to be. I want you to pull that buttocks under, pelvis forward. That's what I meant. You don't have to go high, far. Good. Now release and look at that foot. Turn, step the back foot in halfway, and let's do a pyramid. So either flat back fold, bent leg, straight leg, all the way down. You might look like somebody in a starter's block, or you can have your legs straight. And then bend your knees and come back up. Take the back leg and send it further so you can do the hip flexor stretch. Heel is up, bend both knees, tuck the tailbone under, and then rise and capture that moon. Gaze up. Be strong in your legs. And accept the walls. Make it part of this. Beautiful. Here we go for our side lunge. So face the long edge of the mat again. And bend the left leg. And go to where you can. So it might be that you can go further, you know, all the way. Depends on your legs today. And let's go to the other side. So the other lunge, high, medium, low, you go to where you can go. Now let's pivot to face the right. The back leg is just perfectly positioned to have the heel up, tuck. Let's do our hip flexor stretching. Grab hold of the moon. Now step your foot in halfway. Let's do our pyramid pose. You work with what you've got. Fold. You have options. And then bit by bit, you're going to rise up and simply step your feet side by side. You rise your arms, take a deep breath, and when your hands come to heart, I'm going to ask you to take that long stride to face the long edge of your mat and do your goddess. Settle in. Yeah, reveal your beautiful goddess. I love it. Relax your shoulders though. And you go down just enough to kind of go, oh yeah, that's tough, but it's doable. And then rise and tilt to one side or the other, and then the other. It doesn't matter which side. Just tilt. And up and over. Rise it up. Now you're getting familiar with it. We're going to just repeat it. To the right, do a triangle. So go ahead and settle into the form of triangle that works for you. If you can look up to your hand, the top hand, yay. If that bothers your neck, look down. Beautiful. Look down to the foot, pivot, step the foot in so you can do your pyramid. Exhale all the way down. All right, so I'm going to give you a modification. I think most of you are better off with coming up. I'm going to show you what it is after I set you in. So step the back leg in, out and back. Create this hip flexor stretch. The other version is slip the leg back and go into deep dragon and crescent style rise. So very similar in movement, right? So it's something that you can work towards. And then we go to the side lunge. So if you're very low, you end up pivoting to a low lunge, side lunge. If you're high, you stay high, right? You work towards it. Let's crawl over to the other side, or just shift over to the other side. Now this is where you're going to pivot, leave the leg back, bend the knee, and create this beautiful reaching up for the moon. Or you pivot down. Same concept. You grab that moon. Bask in its beauty. And then you're going to find your pyramid pose. So you're going to slip that back foot in halfway and go for your fold from whatever angle you came from. And then find your way to the front of your mat. Step your feet side by side, hip width apart. Reach up, big breath. And start and create your goddess. Let's pivot around. Just take that step. Create your goddess. If your legs are tired and you're feeling a little overwhelmed, don't go as deep. Right? But if you're feeling like, oh yeah, this is demanding, and you're okay with it, stick with it. All the way up, tilt to one side, then the other. Make it feel good. Oh, yeah. Other side. Reach up. Let's create our triangle to the left. So pivot your feet, sit yourself up, and go for your triangle. Perhaps try looking up or looking down, but try something maybe a little different than what you're used to. Both hands stack. One is up and the other one is down in line, right? They match up. You're going to come out of this and do your pyramid pose. So look at your foot, bring the other one in, and then bow. And we are going to create that crescent. So rise and step the leg back, bend the knee and hug the moon, or slip down and rise the arms and hug the moon. Pause for a moment. Let's go into our side lunge. From wherever you are, there is a version that works for you. Good. And go to the other side. Good. Find the one that works. So here's where we pivot into our crescent. So either knee down to the ground and rise the arms, or just pivot, heel up, knee in, and crescent. Step the foot halfway in, create your pyramid, bow over your legs, one behind the other. And your knees rise and step to the front of your mat. Big breath. Hands come to heart and recreate your goddess. Last time for the goddess. Make her work for the money. Right? So we're going to glide in and out. So you're going to rise up. Let your arms come back down. And as you bend your knees, your arms will cactus by your head like we did at the beginning, right? Go down, rise up, and let your arms come down. Make this nice and soothing. Bend your knees, goddess arms. Rise up and let it go, and we'll do it one more time. Sink, arms side, rise up. Release your arms, and then you're going to toe heel in until you feel that you are, or jump, or find a way to have your feet hip width apart and just stand and pause. Feel, we'll want a little bit of relief in your hips to just feel grounded. Really connected to the earth. Imagine white light going through your roots, all the way up your body and through your crown, up to the universe. Let your light shine. Beautiful. You're going to gently come down to the mat. So find a way. If you can go through a squat, you go through a squat. We haven't done many squats to warm up for it, so if you're not comfortable with squats, just come on down. Set yourself up that you can lay back. And you're going to start with your feet on the mat, arms resting out, head resting. Let yourself feel, just enjoy feeling how your body just settles down. Scan your body quickly to see, am I gripping anywhere? Am I trying to protect myself anywhere? Can you release? And then you're going to begin a very, very gentle, little wobble of the knees. Barely detectable, so it's not windshield wiper, but it is side to side. What I want you to feel is the heaviness of your pelvis more on one side of your sacrum, and then more on the other side of the sacrum. So it's not like your buttocks are, it's getting heavy into the buttocks all the way to the side. It's just a very slight teeter-totter kind of movement. Beautiful. And then pause your knees. Let your left leg go to sleep on the mat. Draw your right knee into the chest. Interlace your fingers and use your hands like paperweights. Just hang out here. You're actually not trying to improve any flexibility or strength right here. You're aiming to pay attention to your body and be in a position where you can remind your body that it can exist without pain, without tension, without demands. It can feel good. And remember that it is in stillness and during rest that we repair and rejuvenate. So enjoy the quiet. We're simply in the change lens. Look down, switch knees, interlace, rest the hands on the leg, and then right leg goes to sleep. both knees to the chest and have one hand on one knee at a time. So right hand to right knee, left hand to left knee, or shin area. We're going to do a little bit of a breath pattern here with gentle movement. So what I'd like you to do is let your knees get heavy and your arms go straight. So your thighs are kind of a little further away from you if you let them go. So I'm going to ask you to take a deep inhale here. And when you exhale, I'm going to ask you to bring your knees into your chest as close and snuggled in there. And if you'd like, you can even bring your head to your knees, creating this ball. And then when you inhale, you return to the arms long and the legs away. Exhale. Now you can do this without lifting the head. Just exhale and bring the legs in. Inhale, let the legs go further away. Straight arms. Exhale, pull in. I'm kind of liking the version without the head because it's just a nice, easy going pattern. It keeps your mind focused on the task at hand. And your breath is quiet. And the movement matches up to the speed of the breath. Enjoy doing this another 4 or 5 times. Depending on how fast you're going, you're not trying to match my speed. You're following your breath pattern. Once your knees are in the chest, you can hold them there for just a brief moment. Finish up there. And then send your feet way up to the ceiling. Your legs can be straight or bent. Your arms relax out to the side or wherever they drop. This is not a core exercise. Find the angle where your belly is completely relaxed. And maybe you need a block underneath your bum. Yeah, that is done. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. You're not here that long. The block or the cushion definitely tilts your pelvis in a way that it's a little easier to hold the legs up. This position can be done against a wall. If you do find it difficult in the middle of a room to have your legs up, I'm gonna plant the seed to encourage you to do this on a regular basis against a wall. Maybe 5 minutes a day. It helps to reset our nervous system. And it turns on the one that calms us. And the breaths here. You're welcome to stay here as long as you want since you're doing this at home, right? And if you're ready for Shavasana, it can be about that time. I know when I practice personally, when I get my legs up the wall or in this position, I would stay for like 5-10 minutes usually because I love it. For the sake of time for this evening, settle down into your Shavasana. Do a scan of your body. Is there anywhere again that you can release? Check into the shoulders, the jaw, your hips, even your hands and feet. You can have your palms turned up with your fingers slightly open. I'm asking you to be open to that concept that we are affected by the moon. And it doesn't have to be negative. So allow yourself to feel the beauty of the bright full moon. Enjoy the rest of your Shavasana. Namaste.